Okay, so I'm doing another video. Welcome. My name is Mina Avum. If this is your first time here, also known as Tender Tones, you can find my music on all streaming platforms and find me on other social media platforms as Tender Tones. So this video is about creating systems to hold and support you even on your lowest energy days. Okay. Now as a 4-6 projector, I have a lot of low energy days, including today, which I am on day, I guess the second day, technically, of my cycle. And if you're a woman, you know what that means. If you're a man, you can infer what that means because we are very vocal and expressive about what we deal with every month. That being said, I am a person who is much more successful under pressure. And I might be contradicting myself, but it's a flexible pressure. You have to give yourself enough time to not be rushing and stressed out, but not too much time in between tasks where you are then becoming idle and can talk yourself out of doing the things that you need to do. Meal prep. Okay? If you're even too lazy to meal prep, Whole Foods bulk meals, that's 4 days worth of meals. Costco bulk meals, separate that. I know they have some tacos, like make a different taco, make a breakfast taco, get the cut up fruit. If you're knowing that you let fruit go bad, get the cut up fruit and don't feel bad about it. I do like to stay away from that as much as possible because I don't like plastic waste. I always feel so wasteful when I'm throwing away boxes on bags on containers. But until we get you in a place where you can trust yourself, then I say just do what you gotta do and get the cut up fruit. So the pressure I put on myself is kind of competitive. And this is a newer thing, but I have been getting so much accomplished by just choosing to be inspired by the version of me that I am becoming. She is my number one competition, and I don't get jealous, but I get inspired of her. And I think, okay, today is the only day we have. And how do I get closer to that version of myself? And not wake up tomorrow letting myself down. Reward systems. I was doing this back in high school and I didn't even realize it because I was notoriously not doing my homework. And then when I started smoking weed, I started telling myself, you could smoke after you do your homework. Was my homework getting done? Yes, it was. When I needed to motivate myself to do the dishes, it wasn't weed, it was dancing. I would put on music. I had my songs that got me in the mood. I would sing while I was doing the dishes. Next thing you know, I'm done. And the funny thing about this is starting is the hardest part. So whatever you gotta tell yourself to do to hype yourself up to start, just do it, because 9 times out of 10 you feel incredible once you're starting. Like, even there were times I was doing dishes and it was kind of meditative where we already know water is a naturally spiritual element. So that probably was helping, but I used to write songs in the shower, bath. There was a point in time where I wouldn't even fill the bathtub with water, and I would take a pillow and my journal in there, and just something about that. Maybe because water was so frequently used in those rooms, it had a sort of energy in there that was really inspiring for me. I might have to check that out again, because yeah. When you're young, you know things. This is literally a game of hacking your own mind and kind of defragging. I don't know if you guys are familiar with defragging computers, but over time you just accumulate all these files and processing files that even make the computer work and the apps work. So, you would have to defrag. And I remember just seeing the bar and all the different colors, whatever, going away, and then having more space, more capacity. And I really think of life in that way, sort of. When I was a child, I had no limitations on my creativity. You couldn't tell me I wasn't about to have 5 Grammys in a mansion and the life of my dreams by the time I was 20 years old. When I was young, she was determined and never ran out of energy. Even teenage me, dancing every day, dancing so much, singing so much, performing, writing, playing, just all this energy. I couldn't even be in a grocery line without dancing and freestyling about whatever I'm seeing. I was just this endless ball of energy. And I feel like over time, all of the heaviness of other people's perceptions start weighing on us. We're working jobs. I've worked so many jobs. Went to school, different maybe teachers or peers. Just, you think that their words aren't, affecting you. And especially I didn't. I was so arrogant and just whatever, you're just a hater, blah, blah, blah. But it gets in there. It gets in there. It's like if you open up a browser and a pop-up, you see something, the computer remembers that. It might not be at the forefront of your mind, but over time, all these different opinions and perceptions and responsibilities kind of bog you down. And you gotta defrag. Because I believe our younger selves knew what we came here to do in this life. And every day is just a war on getting us to forget. So, wake up. Remember who you are. Before you go to sleep, leave hints of who you are. And not only that, always think about your future self. Present self and future self. Okay? Even sometimes past selves. And we could do a whole video on that and how I frequently go in the mirror and hug and love on and cry and support my younger version of me. Versions. If you want that, so comment, let me know. Keeping these short and sweet for now, but we'll work our way up to lives. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if that's helpful. Let me know if you want me to dive deeper in anything. I kind of speed run that video. Love you.